Okay, so today I will explain the process of transmutation of the Kabbalah Tree into a square. So this process is very important because it links to many other things. This square in the end that you will see is a 9 cell square, so it's very important. It looks like a diamond tile here, but it can also be a square. 9 cell square are very important for many things in mathematics, geometry, and many other things. This allowed me to link it to Daoism and the element. So this has never been done, and you can see that on my website. And this also helps me to other things, many other things. So let's get right into the process. So let's take some green. It's very simple. So there are two line on this diagram. The basic introduction is just that, okay, you want to make a 9 cell square because this is very useful for many things, and this is very deep actually for esotericism and more. Well, you have I want to make the simplest 9 cell square that exists. I will just go from 1 to 9 and count. Okay, what everyone should do, I will do, because nowadays we have a lot of magic squares. I don't know, it's very interesting, but where is the beginning? So I found a lot of inspirations on the internet and stuff like that, but everything you will see here is just mine. Maybe I will put the source, or let's see. So you count from 1 to 9. Very simple, right? And you want to put it into square. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is very simple. I don't think anyone will do differently. You can put it on a line 1, 2, 3 until 9, but it's a line, it's not a square. Okay, so this is the basic step. From this square, then we can just create a normal square, so like that, 9 cell square, and then do some steps that I will explain. Or we can also consider the Kabbalah Tree, which is the most important thing here, most interesting thing, and just follow what exists already. So the Kabbalah Tree is very simple. It's just like that. Actually, I will show the last image maybe, but it's just like that. There is what we call the lightning flash. So because it looks like a lightning, I will do it in gold. So lightning like that. Very simple, right? This is a flash of creation. This is also the path of the flaming swirl. This is why this is a swirl here. And it's just 1 to 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the 10 Sephirot. Very simple, right? So we can consider those two ways, because this is very simple. It's just a linear way to count from 1 to 9. 2 ways to count from 1 to 9. So now that we have this, we want to make the link, because if there is no link, we cannot make the link with squares. And okay, let me zoom a bit. Cannot make the link with squares, and this is very annoying, because the Kabbalah Tree doesn't make any link with squares. But I need squares for Taoism, for example, and we need squares for, well, many other things. It's very important for geometry and more. Because the Kabbalah Tree, why is it like that? To understand, because many people try to make the link with geometry and stuff, but it never works. I know there are a lot of things on the internet, and I watch them all, but it never works, because there is always a small detail missing and making everything a mistake. Let me show you. So people try to this is very important to go through that first. People try to make the links with geometric form, because in this tree you can see many things. So for example, they will say that this is a octahedron. So I will draw it for you. Octahedron here. Okay, like that. So you can see the octahedron here, hidden line here, hidden line here, hidden line here. So this is a 3D octahedron. Okay, you can see it like this is the front, this is the back here behind, and this is central square. Okay, I think you can see. But well, if you do that, there is already a problem, which is, okay, what is this line then? We never draw this edge in geometry when we make a octahedron. So, but in Kabbalah there is this. So, what is it? Okay, so this is first point. Then people will tell you, okay, no, because this is not a octahedron. Maybe this is a, okay, other thing I will draw after. But then we'll tell you, okay, and this is a tetrahedron. Okay, you can see 3D tetrahedron here again. And then we tell you that, and actually it works. It's very logical to do like that. But I will explain you what the trap is really a secret behind all of this that nobody's telling you, because to find this secret, you need to not only study Kabbalah or see the Kabbalah Tree, you need to practice it and to live it. Otherwise, you don't understand what is quantum reality and why this tree is a quantum reality that you cannot even grasp logically, not even in mind, not even in geometry. So that it's just the prolongation here, okay? And then you merge those two forms together by removing this or merging it. Okay, you just merge it, and then it gives you a star. So it will give you this form, and then from there you can expand it, and this creates you the star tetrahedron and very cool geometric forms, all the useful ones. Okay, but the thing is that if you do like this, so I already talked about this problem, right? Let me show you again. I already talked about this problem, but there is another problem. What is this? Because if this sephira is the front of the octahedron, where are those straight going? Where is it going? That means there is a sephira behind it, but because it's 2D, we cannot see it. And if there is a sephira behind it, what geometric form it is? So there are other explanations and other geometric forms that, but there is always a trick. So so you see the problem already. Another explanation. Sometimes you remove that. And you can also say that this is a pyramid here. So this will be the reverse pyramid, and this is the top of the pyramid. This is the bottom of the reverse pyramid. You do like that. Okay, do you see what I just draw? This is the reverse pyramid, and that you have a second reverse pyramid here. Actually, don't do it in green. Actually, I didn't even see that on internet. I found it myself. But you can have a second reverse pyramid here that is collapsing with the first one. Okay, like that. And this is the same. But then those two lines don't exist once again. And what about this? We don't draw this in a pyramid or so. And if we draw it, okay, let's say we draw it. Let's say we draw it. Okay, this is a line. And we have this one also. Then this cannot exist anymore, because you cannot have a tetrahedron here if this is a reverse pyramid. And then, because some Kabbalah Tree don't draw it, so this is okay, let's say it's okay. But even, then what is this? Always a problem, you see? Because this is nothing, this is a triangle. So in 3D it doesn't work. You cannot have a tetrahedron either. So what's the deal? The answer is very simple. It is in the practice of Kabbalah, and this video is a practice of Kabbalah, so you will understand through this video. I went into just purely 2D form, because 2D, like 3D, doesn't matter. What can happen in 2D can happen in 3D. This is just different point of views. Anything that you can do in 2D works. Like, you don't need to prove it in another dimension. You don't need to prove it in 3D. It's completely useless. And what is the root? We don't know if 3D is the root 1D is a root. There is no root. It's just what you take. Does it work or not? Okay. So better to do everything on the same plane. And yeah, the key you will understand through the example. The key is that because everything is quantum, I just express it verbally right now. Because everything is quantum, there is a process here which is linear. Yes, I showed you already the flash of creation, right? Which is linear. But because nothing is really linear in this world, it is both linear and quantum, so happening at the same time. So linear and not non-linear, and this tree has the ambition to describe non-linear reality and quantum reality at the same time as linear reality and everything in the universe. This tree is impossible to describe in 3D. This is always a process. This is not a tree that you can register in your mind and say, oh, I understood it. No, this is always a continuous process that never stops. There is no beginning, no end. This is basic of Kabbalah. So anyone trying to explain it in a linear way, you're already out of Kabbalah. Cannot even work with this tree. Even this video is a process. This video only exists in the totality of the universe. It doesn't exist as a small linear explanation. No, it exists in a non-linear way. Even this video. So don't try to understand it logically. This is impossible. You need to grasp it through the quantum way. Okay. So, okay, I cannot do better than that as an explanation. So there is a process from going from linear to non-linear, which is all written on the same form, same tree, same drawing, which is very confusing. Unless you practice, and there is no other choice in life. So, this is what I will show you now. So I did just very simple observation, and it works actually with Daoism and stuff. So this is kind of proven, even if many ways are possible. Everything is possible. Nothing has sense. Don't get stuck also in the logic of mathematics and geometry. Even mathematics and geometry don't exist. The only thing that exists is you and your mind. Even that is lower than your mind. Nothing can be higher than you and your spirit and soul and your mind. So don't get stuck in anything. Nothing exists. Because too many people get stuck in mathematics and geometry, like, oh, this is a rule, like this is demonstrated, a proof, nobody can go against it. Okay, until someone is levitating there, and you will be like, maybe what I learned at school is not good. So it's not working like that. Nothing is logical. But we can, since we know that, we can just do the simplest thing possible and just enjoy life. So now, what is my process? The process I use and I want to share because it's the simplest one and it works for so many things. So, is this one. So first of all, that which is there. So you see there is nothing there because the 11th Sephira, we don't count it because this is supposed to be spirit, the invisible. So we don't count it and we don't even work with it. So I just put it there to explain and for the demonstration, but we don't count it. So 6, this Sephira is known to be, let's put it in red, is known to be the hurt. This is very aggressive red actually. Wow. It's known to be the hurt. Okay? So this is the center of your body. So because this is the hurt, I just realized if we take the combination, if I add all the Sephirot around this, it gives me 6. So let's do it. So this is so this one we don't count yet. I will explain after why we count it after. We don't count it yet because it's invisible. Now we are in the linear. Here is linear. Here, let's say it's quantum for the demonstration. I mean, not only for the demonstration. Let's say it like that. Because quantum here, everything has merged. Here, we didn't do the merging yet. Okay, I will explain. So 4 plus 5, 9, plus 9, 9 plus 8 plus 7 equal 6. 6 plus 9, 6. Okay, so it makes 6. It gives us 6. So this works. I just translated this process, because this is the heart, so this should be the sum of everything around the heart. That's as simple like that. And many magical squares work like that, and in other different numerical forms and squares and stuff. So I just use this very simple observation. And this is not even from me, this is just there. And then I translate this process here. So let's see what happens. Actually, not this. So what happens here is that, so like we said earlier, this will be transmuted here, this will be transmuted here, and this will be transmuted here. So the 3 columns will be transmuted down. And it works perfectly with Kabbalah actually. Because in Kabbalah we say that, this is where it makes sense. In Kabbalah we say that Zeir Anpin start at 4, the 4th Sephira, and then from 4, 5, 6, 7 to 9, 8 to 9, it's all simultaneous, all at the same time. And when I experience, every time I write a 3, because I write many 3s, you can see on the website also, I have written many 3s for many different things. Every time I reach this Sephira, it becomes such a mess in my mind, because my mind is linear. And I cannot grasp anything mentally anymore. I need to channel it. And I really experience a quantum experience at this moment. Everything comes same time or not, or nothing. So if you try to write or channel a Kabbalah Tree, this can only become channeling, a quantum experience. You cannot do it linearly. You cannot say, okay, this one, no. As soon as you reach 4, you reach a very special experience. You cannot write anymore. So this is unexplainable with words or logic, only experienceable. I insist on that. So this makes a lot of sense, that we need to transmute here on those 3 columns. Okay. So once we do this, now the 4 is here, the 6 is here, and the 5 is here, and the 11, which was here, go down here, if it exists. So the 4, 5, 6 now will become rest. We won't count it. Okay, and we stay like that. If we stay like that, we just 8, 9, 7, 2, 1, 3, and we'll add all of this together. Let's see what it does. So 8 plus 7, 6 plus 9, 6 plus 6. Okay, so 12. So it gives us 3. And then after that, there are many different ways, but I will just give the way I like. Actually, not many, but I'm the only one to have done that. But so now we have, we are 3. So by adding everything together, and now if I add the 11 here, so plus 11, it gives me 5. Okay, so I should put 5 in the center in the transmutation of the 3, which I do here. Oh, there is also another way, because, and this is the way I prefer, because the 11 appears for what reason? This Sephira appear for what reason? Why don't we put empty here? Because now that the transmutation happened, you can see that as a spiritual heart, which doesn't exist, it's invisible. Just like in your human body, you have the physical heart and the spiritual heart behind. Okay, so you have 2 hearts. Just one is invisible because this is a channel of chi. But you have to know that once the spiritual heart and physical heart merge, you will live in a quantum reality. You are completely merged and synchronized with the present reality. That's it. You're the universe. Okay, you synchronize, present, all those words. So now it can become manifest. So now because they merge together, we can add them together. Now the 11 can exist because it's merged. You have synchronized with it, so it's not invisible anymore. It's manifested into the matter, which is what we say in Kabbalah. Ons, Zeir Anpin, and Malchut, which is that, but I will explain another angle, merge together, the reality exists. Like it is manifested. Whatever was there, which was just energetic, is now manifested into the matter. So this is once again just basic Kabbalah. So that means now the spirit can exist. The spirit is just there. There is no difference anymore. So you can add it and it gives you 5. But there is also, okay, what do we do about the rest we have here? What do we do about that? 4, 5, 6. Well, the thing is that if I put 4 here, and this is the only thing that works correctly. If I put 4 here, I put 6 here. Once again, this gives me, so 4 plus 6 equal 10. So once again, because everything is quantum, don't try to understand it step by step. It just, poof, it happens like that. Just like it's really the creation of something, like the creation of a child. It just happens, okay? It just gives birth to a new reality in a quantum way, in the present, instantaneous. It's not like linearity. So 4 plus 6 equal 10, and we have to not forget this 10 also. But this 10 is very special because this is the fractal. This is the result, okay? Just like in Kabbalah, this is the result. This is what you have manifested into the matter. So because everything is quantum, the result already existed before it even got manifested. It already existed there in your first ID, then it is already manifested into the matter. You have to go through a linear process, but on the quantum frame, it already existed. So you understand now? You cannot understand it? Right. So this is strange for the mental, but for the reality, this is the only true reality. Even this video, you cannot understand it. This is why I make this video. You cannot understand it, so you become a quantum being. Because this is the only truth. If you stay stuck in linear, you cannot manifest or make exist anything. That's it. So this is through coaching in the present as well. So you put the 4 and 6 here, and it gives you 10. You have this 10 also, which is a fractal. This is a manifestation, and manifestation of what? Of this square. Now you got it, okay? And now we just have the 5, which is staying. It's like that. And if I take everything, I make, okay, so this gave us, so all the number I put in yellow here in gold, it gives us 12 equals 3. I make plus 6 plus 4 equal 4, and plus this 10 plus the fractal, the result, equal 5, okay? Because we always count in, don't remember the term in English, but in modulo, I don't know. So 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, okay? It gives us 5. So now we have our square, and why it makes perfect sense. So first of all, this fractal is the result of all of this. So this is 2 fractal. This is very important to understand also, because transmutation, so this transmutation process here gives birth to something which is a fractal, okay? And now you can see a clear fractal. You have a 9 cell square. So you have, so what is a 9 cell square? 9 cell square is 9 square. You have 9 squares, okay? And what is the 10 square? The 10 square is the square around. This is a fractal. This is a fractal, okay? Little square here, fractal, big square, okay? So if you condense this fractal, it just gives you this. This is just 10, okay? And because everything is quantum, you just add everything together, it gives you 5. So 5 becomes the center. And it works perfectly with the first realization that 6 in the middle is the heart, and this is the sum of everything around. Well, right now, the 5 is the sum of everything around, plus the fractal that everyone forget. Because if I tell you this here, I tell you this square is a 10, well, you might not understand it or believe it or whatever. But because this is very clear in Kabbalah, there is a 10 here, it's not even a question. It exists, it is there, and you have to take it into account. And why the fractal is very important? You remember in the beginning, I told you no matter what is the geometric form you take, no matter what you do on this tree, there is always a problem. Why? Because there is always a connection with a fractal, with a new creation. It's infinite, because this tree wants to describe infinity. So there is always a connection with another tree, actually. Always a connection with something else. And it has been proven if you connect many of those three together, it gives you a Merkaba, it gives you 64 star tetrahedron and all the geometric form, all the torus and stuff. So there are many ways to combine it, but it doesn't matter the way. The reason why it gives that, you have to stay at the cause. The reason why it always gives a torus or 64 star tetrahedron and stuff like that is because at the beginning this tree is infinite, because there is always a problem that it cannot work in a linear way, and you can only make it work in the infinite way. So the fact that there is always a problem, remember I told you, oh, there should be a cipher here then. Or then why would there be one here? Or why those paths exist? Because there is always another geometric form. I don't know if we see. There is always another geometric form that should exist. What is it? The fractal. So you should always take it into account and go to the infinite. If you only take this tree like that, it's finished reality. It's not working. So that's why there is always a problem to solve in a geometric way, because it's infinite. Okay, this is part of the process. So once you have this, it works perfectly, and now we have everything. So the second way to do it is very simple. It's through, again, a 2D frame and from very simple permutation transformations of numbers. So one of the secrets is to always take a diamond grid instead of a square grid. Once you take a diamond grid, you have 2 times more space. You have 2 times more space. I won't make the grid, but you have more place to put numbers. You see all the empty square here. You have more space, basically. So now this gives this space. What is it? Okay, we still have 1, 2, 3 to 9 in 3 lines, but we have more space. What do we put into this space? Well, if we just do some simple transformations into this space, we can just put a Kabbalah Tree. It matches perfectly. Not the entire Kabbalah Tree, but the transmutation one. And now if I just do simple transmutation with the number here, and in a symmetrical way, symmetry is very important, because if there was no symmetry, it would not work. If there is symmetry, that means there is an order. If there is a logical order to your permutation and transmutation, okay, we talk about transmutation here, but it's the same thing here, permutation or whatever, then it works. Mathematics are very simple. There is, if it works like that, there is a mathematical rule behind, but I won't do it because I don't care about that. I know it works. What works for your man, what works in a logical way, just works. Because after that, it's infinite. If I prove it in one way, you will tell me, oh no, it doesn't work because there is also this other way, and then you have to find another proof. It's infinite. So this is just basic understanding of geometry and whatever, and all of this. Also through this type of demonstration, you can find the low shoe magic square. So the Daoist square, the low shoe magic square. Okay, also on my website. Through this kind of demonstration, which has been done long time ago by a French researcher who traveled to China or something like that, you can also find the low shoe magic square. So the low shoe magic square also comes from the initial square, which is just from 1 to 9. Okay, so if you can find a logic from this square to another square, which is this one, or low shoe square, it works. It works in a symmetrical way. It works because after that, so you obtain a new form, a new square, and it is expandable to the infinite in a fractalizable way. So if it is like that, that means it's perfect. That means it's true. Okay, don't need to go through, because for example, I could go through okay, 3D geometric proof, like, okay, because this number I need to make it through a 30-degree angle, but nobody cares about that. If it works in 2D, it just works. Okay, I know maybe teachers don't say that, but well, it works. So now, from the original stuff, we can find the square. From the Kabbalah tree, we can find the same square, it's exactly the same one. Change color a bit, same one here. And this is both a square and a lozenge or reverse square, turn square, but it's a square. And they both give this, because if I do this, so they both give the, I always struggle here. They both give the flash of creation, the ray of creation, the lightning flash. They both give that, which is very important in Kabbalah. So we have it here, but in a square form, which is very cool and very important and very powerful, because now we have made a link between Kabbalah and a lot of other forms, because the square forms can link to many things, but not the Kabbalah tree. Kabbalah tree cannot link to many things in a geometric way. Okay, so that's it for the demonstration, and now I hope you understand it more clearly and how important it is, because from there you can go everywhere. So that's it. Using just basic observations and just basic rules, basic observation, making the sum of the number, just very simple numerical rules, 2D rules. So you remark we stay in 2D plus basic numerical rules. That's it. No need to do complex things 3D, because 3D, once again, is just another angle, another dimension. Doesn't exist. What is 2D, 3D, it doesn't matter. Same for this. Maybe I didn't explain it so clearly, but what is possible through permutation is possible in mathematics. So there is no need to work on all planes. Just work with one plane, it's enough. And then as soon as it makes sense for you, as soon as you feel inside what it brings to you, then that's it. Anyway, I still needed to go through this video to explain where it comes from. And that's it.